Hello, Internet. It's Jen T. Grace here, founder of Publish Your Purpose Press, and I am here for day number 24, tip number 24 of our 30-day book marketing challenge. So today's tip is using HARO to promote both yourself and your book. So today's tip is really around PR efforts and public relations if you're not fully familiar with the acronym PR. So when it comes to public relations efforts, there's a lot of different ways that you can do this. You can hire a PR firm to proactively search for opportunities for your book to be mentioned, for you to be an expert on the topic that someone else is writing about. There's a lot of different ways that you can do this. However, public relations firms in general can be very, very expensive. And there's not always a guarantee on the ROI. In addition to that, PR firms have a lot of different areas of expertise. They have different types of mediums that they work best in, whether it's trade magazines, newspapers, online forums and things like that. So every PR person and company has a slightly different approach to how they take it, how they take this, take these opportunities for you as the author. So a lot of PR companies can start at $1,000. I've had authors work with companies that cost $7,500 a month. And there's not always a guarantee on your ROI when it comes to PR. And it's not to say that the companies that are behind it are not doing a good job, because they're doing everything in their power to get you those placements and those opportunities that they can possibly get for you. But at the end of the day, it's not in their full control or decision-making ability to decide whether your book gets placed in that publication or not. It's the publication's decision at the end of the day. So if you're thinking about how to do this on multiple different budgets. So if you have the budget to spend and hire a PR company, you definitely want to do your homework, and you really want to look and make sure that the relationships that they have with different news outlets and media publications, et cetera, are in alignment with what you're writing about in your book. So that's kind of, step one, is to really make sure that there's an alignment there. Step two is really understanding, is there, what's the budget? What is the budget needed to actually see success? Step three is doing it on your own. So there is a program that I will put on the resource page for this challenge. So publishyourpurposepress.com/marketing. And this is a kind of how to do PR yourself type of program that one of our authors went through. And she's seeing some really awesome results right now. And she keeps sending them over saying like, hey, I was just mentioned in this article, or, my book was just mentioned here. So there's definitely something to it. However, it requires you to put the effort in to get access to those opportunities. So I'll put that resource link, as I mentioned, on the resources page. However, today's tip is very specifically around HARO. So if you are not familiar with what HARO is, it's Help a Reporter Out. So thousands upon thousands of different organizations who are looking for experts to comment on a topic, on a situation, on anything related to your topic in your book. They go to HARO and they basically put out a call saying, I'm writing an article about diversity and inclusion, and I'm looking for an expert that has specific expertise around workplace cultures or specific expertise in Canada, or whatever the different variables might be. So there are multiple levels of this. So there is a free version of HARO that basically sends you a daily digest or a weekly digest that are like, here's all of the different topics that reporters are looking for. And then you can submit your information to say, hey, I'm an expert in this topic, send it off to them, done. There are definitely paid versions as well. The last I knew, I think there's 4 separate paid versions. So you have the free version, then there's a $19 version. I think there's a $149 a month version. All of those things obviously come with different benefits. And I'm not going to go into those because that is not my area of expertise, is how they do what they do. But it's the fact that there is this service that you can take advantage of. So I personally have been featured on CNBC, the Huffington Post, the Wall Street Journal, Forbes, a bunch of different local magazines, a ton of different niche magazines and publications, different websites, online forums. So I've been featured in a ton of different places. Most of the time, it's because of a connection and this is all on the LGBTQ front. This is not publishing specific. This is all my past LGBTQ consulting work. And the reason why I'm thinking about this tip today is that I just had an inquiry come in from Reuters yesterday asking me to chime in on LGBTQ something or other as it relates to COVID and corporate America. That is not my expertise anymore. So I took that inquiry and I sent it over to a friend, and now she's going to be the one that chimes in on that topic, not me. But my point is that if we're using our content well and we're using it wisely and we're doing many of the tips that have been talked about in this challenge, whether it's posting, you blogging your book, taking content that didn't make it into your book, using that as blog posts, creating white papers, case studies, all of the things that are going to bring people to your website to position you as an expert, those leads and opportunities will come on their own. So the vast majority of the PR opportunities that I have personally gotten have come to me because someone went to my website, they saw something of interest, or they went to Google and typed in some specific thing, and a blog post of mine that has been there for almost a decade at this point is what comes up still in the top ranking for a number of different things on the LGBTQ side of things. So if you put the investment in creating that solid foundation for your website, for your content strategy, the inquiries will come on their own, which is why I was saying the Reuters one that came in yesterday, it just came in on its own because I have positioned myself as an expert in that space for a very long time, even though I am no longer actively doing things in that space, and I'm just sending those opportunities to people that I know and trust. So when you really put yourself out there, the inquiries come to you. However, that is not the case when you're just starting out and you're just trying to figure out how to best do this. So in these cases, using a service like HARO can be so important because, like I said, they send you a daily or weekly digest. I think you get to pick, if you want them coming in daily or if you want them coming in weekly. I would highly advise against doing weekly because think about a reporter's position. They've been assigned a story, or they've pitched a story, they've gotten a yes to it, and they need experts to validate their point of view, or they need experts to contradict their point of view, and they're usually under very, very tight deadlines. So I would do the daily digest and monitor it closely. So I'm not saying drop literally everything that you're doing when the digest comes in, but you will start to see, all right, it comes in at 9 every morning, or it comes in at 4 o'clock every night, whatever the timing is of it. It's important to pay attention to it immediately because the early bird gets the worm. That is such an overused, old phrase, but it could not be any more true. The person who is the first one to answer that inquiry, to reach out to that reporter to say, I'm an expert, here's why, here's my book, here's my website, and this is what I have to say about this topic, that's going to be the person that they're going to go with because they are under a deadline. If you wait days to respond to this inquiry, you are absolutely losing out on those opportunities. So that is really kind of the crux of today's tip, is use HARO to promote yourself and your book, and of course your business too. It's such an easy tool to use. You can definitely pay the premium versions of this because if executing a PR strategy is really important to you, which it should be, because if we're trying to use, especially our nonfiction work, to position us as an expert, having all of these different media mentions makes a huge difference. Even just the fact that I can say now here that I've been featured on CNBC, in the Wall Street Journal, Forbes, Huffington Post, et cetera, and dozens upon dozens of others, it lends credibility. Whether or not, how long ago it was, how recent, whatever it is, it lends a lot of credibility. So you can be damn sure that my bio always includes at least those 4 publications because they are the big known national organizations, even though I have countless of others. So for that reason alone, too, you might want to consider it. It might be just a short sprinting type of strategy where you're like, no, I'm just going to get as many opportunities as I can because I want to increase my LinkedIn profile by being able to say, I've been featured in Forbes, or to increase your bio to be able to say, I've been featured in the Wall Street Journal, whatever the places are. And they don't have to be these big nationally known organizations. They could be really niche publications specific to your work that really makes a difference for your people. So if you're in, human resources of any kind, having some kind of feature in SHRM, which is the Society of Human Resources Management, that would be an amazing opportunity, especially if you're trying to reach HR people, because they're going to know SHRM. If you're in HR, you know who SHRM is. So that would be a way better opportunity to access than maybe something that has nothing to do with your industry, but might sound nice. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to yield an ROI on that feature or on that placement of your name, your book, and your expertise. So that's today's tip. I really hope that you take advantage of this. And as I mentioned, I will put on the website a resource to a kind of a PR, how to do it yourself type of program. I personally have not used it. I have not vetted it. I just know that an author of ours has used it and she really raved about it. So I want to pass that along to you, and I will make sure that that is listed on the website. As always, the concluding of this video is just a couple of announcements. So the office hours are still going on. 4 p.m. Eastern time. There is one next week. So please join us. If you're watching this in the future, check out the website to see when the most current office hours will be. Additionally, we have a marketing mastermind that is about to start. So if you would like to apply for that, I strongly encourage you to do so. It's on the website at publisherpurposepress.com/marketing. And then finally, our WhatsApp group. So that group is for pure accountability, brainstorming, partnering up with people, getting resources, getting support. It grows. Every time I do a video, there are more people who join the group. And it's really just an awesome group of people who care about each other, who have a like-minded goal of either finishing writing their book, getting it published, or how to better market their book. So all of those opportunities are available to you. All of them are linked below this video to make it easy for you. And there are 5 more tips related to this challenge. So if there's anything I have not addressed that would be helpful for you, please do not hesitate to reach out and let me know. I'm available on all of the social medias, mostly at Jen with 2 N's T Grace. Publisher Purpose Press is on all of the social medias as well. And then of course you can send me an email or just comment below this video. Whatever makes sense for you, please let me know. You have 5 more opportunities for me to answer something very specific to what you were looking for. And I have a couple of them already planned that I know what I want to talk about, but I do have a few open slots. So please let me know. I'm happy to help, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.